So this is going to be the July 2023 reading for the sign of Pisces. So anyone with prominent Pisces placements in your birth chart, thank you so much for being here. If you're only interested to see the tarot portion of this reading, just click on the timestamp for the tarot part and it'll take you straight to that part of the reading. Otherwise, I am going to cover a little bit of the astrology today in this video. And I'm only going into the full moon in Capricorn and new moon in Cancer energy just to get an overall theme of what July has to offer. If you want to know more about the astrology for July, check out my weekly readings that I do for each element. And here I do break down the astrology on a weekly basis, so I don't have to cram in all of the astrology into one reading. So yeah, just look for those readings, subscribe to the channel, so that way you can see those readings or get notified when those come out. But otherwise, let's get started. So July 3rd, we do have a full moon in Capricorn. So the theme for the month is going to be around us thinking about what is really important and making sure that we are focused on the important things, what we truly value, and looking at where and what we are investing our time, our energy, our efforts into, as well as our resources and even our money. Capricorn is a very results-oriented energy. It's also a work-oriented energy. And the last thing that Capricorn likes is to waste, right? So this is wasting of resources, wasting of time, especially. You know, they need to make sure that what the actions that they take and the efforts they're making is going to generate some sort of add to their overall quality of life. So the full moon in Capricorn on the 3rd is going to give us the opportunity to really think about that. And if we notice that, you know, whatever we are investing in, if it's wasting our time and we don't see overall results coming through by the end of this, you know, venture, or by the end of this thing that we are working on, then at this point it's a good opportunity for us to course correct and, you know, really change the effort that we're making into something that we know we will get results out of, if that makes sense. And then also July 17th, that's when we have the new moon in Cancer. So here with the new moon, every new moon, it talks about initiating something. There's a beginning here, planting of a seed, and really thinking of a purpose or what we are wanting to start. And usually this is more from an emotional perspective. So something that we are emotionally fulfilled by, something that we are emotionally connected to. It also brings in a higher theme around your family and your parents, more so your mother or a feminine in your life. You being a parent and even dealing with your children at this point, your home will probably play a big role here as well. So making sure that you have a secure, safe home base. If you have to really put some investment or some time and effort into your home in some way or into your family in some way, there will be new initiatives around these concepts mid-month of July with that new moon in Cancer. And then we have the nodes of the moon changing. So the north node and the south node. So here we are coming out of the north node being in Taurus and the south node being in Scorpio for the last year and a half or so. And now we are moving into the north node in Aries and the south node in Libra. So with this concept, when we talk about the north node, it is a collective energy. It's a little bit futuristic as well regarding the direction that we are feeling called to take. So this is something more that is a little bit out of reach at this point, and the overall theme is going to be us moving toward this thing that is sort of out of reach, right? So with the Aries concept, it is around embracing individuality. So we are moving toward embracing individuality. We are moving toward really getting a better sense of oneself and who we are, aside from or separate from relationship dynamics. Because Libra in the South Node is what we are moving away from, Libra does have to do with relationship dynamics. Libra is the I and you, right? Whereas Aries is just me and myself. And so we are not necessarily ending relationships here, although I do think that a lot of people that are in codependent, low-level type of relationships will probably be ending those more often than not within the next year and a half. I just think that this is more of a non-personal energy. Like, it's not personal to the people in our environment. It is solely personal to us. We have a need to do something for ourselves, by ourselves, without the involvement of others. And so I do think that this also looks like us not needing permission from people, us not needing opinions and feedback from people. Sometimes, you know, when we want to start something new, we do go to our close family members or our close friends to get their opinion and, you know, just receive some overall motivation. And I think with the North Node moving into Aries, there is something in our lives that we just know at a soul level that we need to do by ourselves, and it's the right thing to do. And there's no room for anyone else's involvement because it's something for us that we are doing. So yeah, that'll be starting again mid-month, July 17th, and it'll be there for the next year and a half or so. All right, so let's move into the tarot part of today's reading. Again, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my readings. Also like this video. I would really appreciate it if you were able to gain any insight or perspective from today's reading as well. All right, Pisces. Pisces for the month of July. Month of July 2023. What is the personal energy for Pisces for the month of July, please? Pisces. All right. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords. This is truth and clarity coming through right from the get-go. So in your personal energy for the month of July, you were probably going to come across really authentic and really honest, maybe a little blunt. Ace. So you have two aces. This is definitely a new beginning of some sort for you, Pisces. You are working on starting something new. Your mind and your body are working together right now. You are in the air and earth element very prominently. There's a decision that had to be made. A decision that you have to make this month. I do feel that it is something that has been taking a toll on you. You have been thinking about this for a really long time. You're finally creating an opportunity for this decision or for you to make a choice. For some of you, you are thinking about, I don't know how this relates, but like, or how this looks in your life, but it's like a choice between the mind and the body, or a choice between logic, rationality, a deep sense of clarity compared to something in the physical realm. I don't know if it's necessarily a choice or just the fact that you have these two options here. I'm feeling something. I'm just trying to articulate it. It's like there's something in your physical realm that you want to grow, or that there's an opportunity for something physical in your realistic life. And you can put energy and time into that. Or you can put energy and time into clearing your mind. Is there like distractions here in your physical realm? I mean, they are both good. And usually I would read these together, but for some reason I'm getting a split between them. So it's like I need to be really clear. I need to not indulge in distractions. I need to spend time with myself. I need to step back and connect with my truth and who I am, and get, you know, sort of like mess out of my head, like really be conscious of my thoughts and how they affect me. At the same time, there's a major opportunity for some sort of material gain here in your environment, maybe. So maybe while you are working on yourself and working on your mind and sort of being detached a little bit, at the same time, like you want to do this, but there's also this opportunity here that is here for the taking and here for you to focus on in some way. So it's like choosing what to do. Do I go into this material thing, put all my effort and focus here to grow this thing in my external realm? Or do I spend more time working on myself because I need some mental healing here? I need to clear my mind. I don't know, like there's been a lot on my mind. Maybe you've had some like anxious moments, some anxiety, maybe a little depression, like you're healing something, but it's more from a mental place. And needing to make a decision about that. Otherwise, in another context, it is just a beginning. It is a pure beginning of something coming through. There's truth here about a opportunity. And you need to make a choice to take this opportunity or not. What is in the environment for Pisces, please? Let's get more information here so we can put this puzzle together. Yep, new start with the Fool. So just wanting to break free, be fresh, something new, something you're a little excited for. There is assistance here. It may be coming through the form of a person, but this person has like some sort of spiritual ability or is connected to spirit, to the universe in some way, like really strongly. Maybe you see them as sort of a blessing in human form or a blessing in disguise. You feel like this new start, this new opportunity has presented itself to you by God, by spirit itself. I mean, there's abundance to be had. In your environment, you are abundant. There is something like that around you. If this is another person, this other person is coming across that way. Like they have resources, they have something that you need that can help you get something started here. Maybe you're going into some sort of opportunity with a partner, like a business partner of some sort. And this is something that is like really brand new for you. Spirit is coming through though. This is like a destined thing. This is like part of your path, part of your life purpose in some way. Definitely new beginnings for the month of July. What else? There's creation here. There's fertility here. Just like, yeah, like someone just really feels like an angel, like, and I know the card depicts that and it's obvious, right? But I mean, you know, these cards come and speak to me in different ways for different readings. But this one does feel like an actual blessing in human form, whatever that means. Like this person, this in your environment has what you need in some way. All right, let's go into the beginning of the month. What other details are there to be seen for the sign of Pisces, please, for July 2023? This card has been coming through for like almost everyone. And you're like the 10th reading I've done in this July series. All right. So let's talk about the devil. So you have the angel and the devil. Who else had the angel and the devil? I think it was Scorpio. Watch the Scorpio reading if you have Scorpio placements. Well, the devil comes through at its highest vibe. It is calling for you to break free of a constricting situation, something that you feel bound to or tied down to, and is, you know, sort of like not very, how can I say, like it's not adding to the quality of your life in some way. Like it is preventing you from being content, from being fulfilled, from, it's blocking your abundance. It's like, because there's usually like low-level behaviors that come through that prevent you from really taking on higher vibing opportunities. So the way it's coming through, it's like you need to examine a certain pattern or a certain behavior that you have that blocks positivity, that blocks abundance, that blocks opportunity. If you feel like you're always going through hard moments, or like things just don't work out in your favor, or it's like always something that you have to be working on, or, you know, getting through like really harsh situations, because the devil, again, like it constricts us, right? It keeps us bound. It keeps us down. So we're not really equipped, and we don't have the strength and the stamina and the experience and the know-how and all of that to really get through the stuff that comes through in our life. So therefore it creates challenge. It creates hardship, you know, like everything just feels really hard to do. But it's coming through, that's happening because there is a certain behavioral pattern that you have to notice and pinpoint, because there's like, it feels like something really specific. It's just like, let's just say like self-sabotage. Like, you know that you have like a good opportunity coming through, but you have this pattern of sabotaging it because you have some sort of like traumatic, like some sort of trauma, right? Like maybe some low self-worth, or you don't really believe in, you know, the goodness of the world or something like that. Like you know, like a very cynical type of outlook, which prevents opportunity, you know, like whether you know it or not, energetically, the way we think, like, is how our life is, right? So there is some, again, pinpointing this certain behavior that prevents your life from just flowing and being easier, right? And not as hard as it has to be. Like, life doesn't have to be as hard as it is, you know. For some people, life is just shitty and really hard, and, you know, it's all in the mindset and how they approach the things that they are faced with, whether you know, believe that or not. It's just my experience and opinion, and also what I'm feeling from these cards. But again, there's a need to break free of certain behaviors, as well as end patterns. So the world comes out, same concept of ending cycles. It's like, stop it once and for all, right? Like, you know, by now, you probably know that there's a certain behavior that you have every time you get super close to an opportunity, every time something good happens, you know, whatever. And then there's like a switch, and there's a little bit of sabotage there. You know, where is that coming from and why? Instead of just allowing it to happen. What else? Not saying that this is for everyone. Whoa. The beginning of July is going to be pretty impacting, pretty big. And you may already be feeling it because we are July 2nd at this point that I'm making this video. So depending on when you see it. Jeez, what is this? All right, so you're feeling bounded, you're feeling constricted. There's some low-level behavioral energy that you need to break free from and break the cycle, break the pattern. Something has like shown itself again, and here's another opportunity for you to act different, to make a different choice in how you respond or react to this situation. The universe is presenting a familiar situation to you again, whereas before you probably in some way sabotaged it. Now you're coming across it again, and you're trying your very, very best to be clear, clean, like crisp as it relates to your mental reactions and thoughts and activity, so that way you can take full advantage of this opportunity and react differently this time. It could be anything, okay? The concept is the same for whatever situation this is and how it's playing out in your life. There's a need to connect to your higher self here and stay clear. Create the energetic thread between you and your higher self, and follow what that higher energy is telling you to do. If you come into a moment where you don't know how to handle this thing, you don't know how to react, you don't know what to say, what to do, whatever, count on your higher self to direct you. You have spirit here on your side as well, like sort of looking over this situation. It's like if your spirit team, your higher self, is holding your hand through this process right now and trying their best to make sure that you are very careful in how you approach this situation, so you can make the best decisions and really follow through this time and not sabotage the opportunity the way you did the last time. So that's the feeling I was getting from the beginning, how like detaching from distraction so you can make sure that you are on your path, that you're really clear and in your truth. And I feel like I'm speaking slow, like every step you make, every choice you take, like every move you make is like slow, to make sure that nothing breaks, to make sure, like that's how precious and that's how fragile this thing is in a sense. But it is for overall abundance. It is for the 10 of Cups. It is for your ability to have everything that you want, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Usually this is like a really solid home foundation with like income that you feel comfortable and content with your family and whoever lives in your home having everything that they need, where there is no lack and no one is going without. It's that feeling, it's that concept. And there's an opportunity here to have that. And whether it's a physical opportunity where like you're getting a raise, a new job, you're coming into some money, there's a help, like maybe, I don't know, like you met somebody and, you know, both of your incomes coming together, right? Like blended families or whatever. It could be external, something like that. Or it could be an internal thing where you feel like, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? This could be external or it could be internal, basically. Shoot! I don't know where I was going with it. Oh well, I mean, that was not meant to be said, I guess. All right, what's next? You were not meant to hear that. The King of Swords, mid-month, more clear, honest, mental activity. The Empress again. There's abundance coming through here, Pisces, for sure. You're coming into some sort of abundance here. It's like, it's time for this thing. Whether you really like buy into this concept of like, I don't know, because I feel like for someone that is like, somebody's energy is coming through here that feels like they just like it, like things that feel too good to be true, right? Like they look down at that, like that's not true, that could never happen, you know, like this really negative mindset to a positive situation. This is a huge month for you. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 major arcana cards. There's with the Hierophant and the Empress, this is like for some of you, you're getting married, or you're coming, like there's commitment. There you go, there's commitment here. A level up in a committed situation, or you're committing to a career, or you're committing to a goal, or you know, a belief system. Like you're committing to yourself that you're gonna do something, or something like that. Like, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm not gonna be that way anymore. Like, I'm making a promise to myself that this will never happen again. I'm making a promise to myself that I'll never do that again. I'm making a promise to myself that I am going to always do this thing or be this way. Something. There's no room for distraction. There's no room for low-level, messy drama. There's no room for people who are just bringing you down, for situations that are bringing you down. Like you're making a promise to yourself, like, I am done with that type of shit. You know, people that don't have my best interest at heart, situations that just don't add quality to my life. If it's not adding positivity, love, abundance, you know, then it's not for me, and I'm not gonna fuck with that anymore. Like, this is like, I feel like really strong, like telling yourself this is it. Like there's an element of waving the sword, of cutting ties, of, you know, like just being done with a certain way of being, and you're following your instincts here. Like, you know that this is something you have to do. You feel it super fucking strongly in your body, whatever. You're taking control here with the Queen of Wands. Taking control of your life, taking control of yourself. Maybe you're looking into health, better health as well, I'm feeling. It's like just the month of July for Pisces is like change my life month. This month I'm changing my life. That's what it feels like. Yes, do it. I am right there with you, Pisces. And it will bring a sense of strength and power and when you start to see the results of what it looks like to be in control of yourself and your life, like you just want more of it. When you start to see and feel that you are free from all the lower shit, you feel liberated. You are liberated. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. By the end of the month, you're feeling really good about the decisions that you've made. You see, by the end of the month, you have seen some type of result. If you stay consistent and you are like doing the things, by the end of the month, results will come in. It feels big enough that I cannot say by the end of the month you'll have everything you need or you're working toward. Like it feels like really big, like I'm changing my life, you know. But at least you will see the like the beginning, right? Like you're gonna get a taste of it. Something will happen that is going to confirm that you're on the right path, that you made the right choice. Yeah, and it's for like overall security, stability, something with your home, you know, feeling more secure and at home. Maybe you moved or did something with your home situation, your living situation that you feel really good about. You're in a better environment in some way by the end of the month. But what is this? Do you see the difference between these two cards and the feeling, the different feeling that they are giving off compared to all the other cards that came through before them? What is that? You have the 8 of Swords and the Tower. First, before I clarify, there could be a moment at the end of the month where you were doing really good and you saw that beginning, you got a little taste of the results and the things around the things that you're working on. And then the behavior just creeps back in. That thought process creeps back in. And then you go into anxiety mode. And you go into being in your head, overthinking. It's like a relapse. It's like a relapse. And I know you know what that is. I know you know what that feels like. I know you've been through that. It's catching it early. Staying consistent, not allowing other people to impact you. Like locking the freaking doors, you know, closing the curtains, turning off the phone. Don't answer every phone call. Don't text, you know, don't respond to every text message. Don't say yes to everything that people need from you. You know, no matter how much they come at you with their problems, because you're also the type that takes on other people's shit. This is not that month. You're doing something for yourself. This is not that month. And especially if you have kids and you are responsible for children, like you're doing something for yourself, which as a result affects them and impacts them. And it's going to make their life better as well. Don't allow the distraction to come through. Catch it beforehand. Know that you have an inclination to go back into the cycle. You already know that. You're conscious of that. You know that. It doesn't have to turn out the same way every single time. No one says it has to be that way. There's no rule in freaking, you know, this life that says like, you know, you're always going to live and go through this cycle. You're always going to have this pattern. Like no one says that that's law, you know, like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. Like it doesn't have to be this way. You are in control. What is this 8 of Swords and the Tower, please. It's interesting. There's people here. You have 3 queens, essentially, coming through here at the end of the month. This queen is the same as this one. This is the Water Queen. Are these helpers? Are these supporters? Are these distractors? Shit. Yeah, the High Priestess, the same card as that one. Stay true. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to the feeling that you had starting off the month. What is this then? Is this causing this? No. No, this is your wish fulfillment. One more. I'm getting confused. There's something missing. There's something I can't pick up. There's something that's blocked. You're reevaluating this. It's like, do I really want that? Like, once you see the results and once, you know, something comes, like you see you get the taste of it. Sorry. It's like, do I really want that? Like this sense of anxiety or a moment of overthinking, talking yourself out of it, justifying reasons why it's not for you, justifying reasons or validating reasons why you don't want this. Like, you know, starting off that this is what you want. You're super fucking clear about it. This is not only what you want, but you know this is what you need for the quality of your life in some way. And then once you get a taste of it, it's like, do I really need that? And then starting to change your thought process into a more cynical, negative thing, like pushing it away. It's definitely behavior. It's behavior driven. It's mentally driven. That involves, like, the way it's coming across, it's like really deep, intense, thorough healing shadow work. Because this is like, it feels like a really deep-rooted, deep-seated behavior that you've had your whole life. You probably have not tapped into it and really done work on where it comes from. It's more of like, that's just how I am. That's just who I am. Instead of identifying that it's from a traumatic experience that caused you to be this way. I don't know what it is. It's too deep for me to even go into. Like, that's why I'm feeling like I can't see it. I can't feel it. But there's something around you, like trying your best to stay high vibing, trying your best to stay in the energy that you started off with. Like, remember why you're doing this. Remember why you decided to change your life. Remember that when this starts happening at the end of the month. Record yourself and talk to yourself now. Talk to yourself, like, record a conversation. I would say journal, but I feel like if you, and I don't know who I'm talking to, it's crazy, but I feel like if you were to record your voice and tell yourself and have a talk to yourself right now at the beginning of the month around, like, you changing your life and why you're doing it, and you're just like, I'm done with this, I'm gonna do this for myself. Like, you know, if you were speaking to your best friend and you're having this conversation with your best friend and you're telling them how you feel and you're like really strong in your convictions and in your decision that you just made, like, that's the conversation you need to remember. That's the conversation. If you could record it so you can always refer back to it, so you can remember it when a moment like this comes and you get triggered to go back into your cycle and to go back into your low behavior, so you can remember. It's like amnesia. It's like that movie. I don't know. This is the movie 50 First Dates, right? Like, she loses her memory, so she records shit or she writes shit down. I don't remember what she does. But every day she has to go back and relive, like, certain things, right? Like, for her to remember and realize why she is where she's at. If that makes sense. Yeah. But that's the message coming through for you, Pisces. I mean, it's great, like, awesome, beautiful energy. All of these cards are so amazing. Like, there is, like, spirit is on your side. There's love from the universe here. There's probably love from your close circle of people, you know, like, I mean, I know that there's love from you as well, you know, like, just remember why you're doing this. Remember why you're making this change. And try to stick to it, you know. These two cards, the wands, this is your soul. The cups, this is your heart. The wands, passion, like being connected with your fire, being connected with your water. Your higher self coming through, the goddess, the God, the universe. Looking over this whole situation and making sure that they're doing everything that in their, you know, and that they can do to help with it as well. But at the end of the day, we all have freedom of choice. Like, we all have will, right? Anyway, yeah. So, I hope you were able to gain some insights from this message today, Pisces. We'll see how it turns out in the August reading. Leave a comment if you're inclined to do so. Let me know what this is about. I'm curious. Like the video. I would appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel so we can work more closely together as I do more readings for you guys in the future. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful month of July, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you so much.